Hi, I'm Katie Farrell with Dashing Dish, and at Dashing Dish, I'm all about teaching you how to nourish not only your body, but your soul as well. Today, we're gonna make a really fun kid-inspired dish that really brings me back to my childhood, and it's a healthy spin on it, and that is clean-eating chicken and cheddar broccoli Hot Pockets. So I'm sure so many of you have also shared in my childhood dreams of having Hot Pockets when you were little. You just pull them out of the freezer, put them in the microwave, and you have this delicious puff pastry with chicken, cheese, and broccoli on the inside. So today we're gonna make a healthier version, and I already have some chicken that's cooking up in a skillet here. And all I did was I sprayed my skillet with nonstick cooking spray, cut up some chicken breast into bite-sized pieces, but you could also do shredded chicken breast in this recipe. And you just want to cook it until it's brown and cooked through. And you can see here that we're almost to that point. Now, once you get to the point where it is almost completely cooked through, you want to add your seasoning. So we're going to add some garlic powder. You don't want to add garlic powder too soon because it can burn in the pan. So we're going to add it once the chicken's almost done. And then just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and that's just to flavor the chicken. And then we're gonna do just a little splash of chicken broth. And that's what I like to do to finish cooking the chicken the rest of the way through, but also bring the moisture back into the chicken, because a lot of times chicken breast, when you're cooking it, tends to get a little bit dry. So adding just a splash of chicken broth or even lemon juice or even just some water brings that moisture back to the chicken and gives it flavor. So that's gonna finish cooking through, and to that we're gonna add some plain Greek yogurt. And that's gonna give it that creamy filling, and that's gonna be right in the pan there. And then we're gonna add our cheese. We're gonna add about a cup to start. And the thing about Hot Pockets are, you know, we know that they're definitely store-bought. There's a lot of unknown artificial ingredients if you look at the ingredients on the packet. And so we're just gonna make our own, and we're gonna create a healthier version of something that so many of us enjoyed as kids. And we know that this is something that we have put all the ingredients into, so we know exactly what's added in it. And that's what I really like to share at Dashing Dish, is that it doesn't mean that you can't have foods that you once loved or your childhood favorites by eating healthy. It just means that you want to make healthier swaps and think about different ways that you can, you know, make something that was once store-bought yourself, so you know what's actually in them. You know, a lot of times too, when people go out to eat, they ask me, you know, how do I make healthier choices when I'm eating out? And that is a little bit tricky, because when you go out to eat, even if you're getting something like a chicken breast, you know, that's usually loaded with salt and maybe some different ingredients that you weren't even aware went into the chicken. And so a lot of times I like to just encourage people to make the healthiest choices that you can when it comes to eating out. You could even look at the menu ahead of time online, or you could just share a dish with someone that you love or someone that you're going out to eat with. And that way, you know, you're just having half of the portion. So to this pan, I'm now adding my broccoli, and this was already steamed. And what I like to do is I like to have frozen broccoli florets on hand in my freezer all the time, because you can add them so easy to a recipe. You just add the broccoli either frozen and then just cook off some of the moisture a little bit, or you can just steam it ahead of time, either in a steamer on the stovetop or in the microwave. And that's what we did here, is I just steamed it right in the microwave. So this was just frozen broccoli florets. And then I'm gonna finish cooking that through and add the rest of the cheese. And you'll see that the mixture gets nice and creamy as it continues to cook. And then you can turn the heat right off. So then once we get to this point, we're gonna actually turn it into our Hot Pockets. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna take some whole wheat tortillas, or any type of tortillas that you can find that are more nutritious than just the white tortillas. And in order to really make these foldable and pliable, a good tip is to pop them in the microwave for like 10 to 30 seconds so that they're softer and they're easier to roll up. And then I have my baking pan ready to go, lined with parchment paper, which makes for easy cleanup. And I'm going to take the filling and just put it right into the tortillas. You can either roll them up just like a burrito, or you can actually fold them up just like a Hot Pocket. So I'm going to take a spoonful of my mixture here. And I'm going to show you just how I would kind of go about this. I'm actually going to use a measuring cup. And you would just continue this process with all of the tortillas here. So we have some of our filling, and you can see how cheesy and delicious this looks. And if it's a little bit, you know, wet looking, that's okay, because it's going to bake, and as you bake them, that will get nice and cheesy and melty and delicious on the center. So what you do is you fold over the two of the sides there, and then you just continue rolling. And then what you would do is you would put them right on our baking pan here. Now you can see that it broke a little bit, and that's actually because I didn't soften the tortillas just like I shared that you should. But if you soften the tortillas ahead of time, then they won't break as easily on you. Then what you'll do is, after you're done filling these tortillas and baking them, you bake them for about 15 minutes on 425 degrees. They will get nice and golden brown on the top, as you can see here. The great thing about that is I'll actually show you when I cut into one. They get nice and crispy and toasted on the outside, but then they're nice and melty and cheesy and gooey on the inside. And then you can actually take them once they're completely cooled, and you can wrap them up in foil. So this is the nice thing about these. They truly are like Hot Pockets. You can wrap them up in foil just like this once they're totally cooled off, and pop them right in your freezer. Then when you're ready for a really quick and easy meal, you just take them out of your freezer, you put them in the microwave, and you thaw them out and warm them up and warm them through. I just do that by taking a paper towel and wrapping it around the Hot Pocket and microwaving it before I put it in the microwave. I wrap it in the paper towel. And that just keeps it from getting dried out. And then if we cut into one, you can see how the filling and the top make a wonderful pairing together, and how the filling gets nice and cheesy. And you know, I made recipes like this all the time when I was in nursing. I was a labor and delivery nurse, and I worked 12-hour shifts when I was doing my nursing career. And a lot of times people said to me, you know, Katie, how do you have time to eat healthy? You know, or I don't have time to eat healthy because I work these long hours. And I would just always encourage people and share that, you know, I've been there where I've worked 12-hour shifts and I was so tired, but at the end of the day, I found a little segment of time during my week where I maybe had some time off, or, you know, just a moment to kind of cook and meal prep. And I would make things in big batches, just like these Hot Pockets, and I would just do an assembly line where I would make these Hot Pockets or some sandwiches, and I would wrap them up in foil, and I would pop them in my fridge or my freezer, and then I would have food for the week, even in the busiest times or when I just didn't feel like cooking at all. So I hope that this encourages you to start to get into the kitchen, think about ways that you can make things ahead of time, like these freezer Hot Pockets, and have things ready to go and on hand, even at your busiest times during the week. It really is easy and delicious to eat clean and eat good food that nourishes your body. For this recipe and more just like it, you can head over to dashingdish.com or ctvn.org.